Really hated being Asian at the time when I first moved here because I couldn't even communicate with, properly with everybody in school. I was gonna go with RETEP, RETEP, Peter backwards.
Oh.
But that just sounds kind of weird. So I just, people used to call me PD in middle school. Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'm just gonna use YETEP. Ever since then, people have been calling me Yetter, and so I guess the name stuck. I'm like the yellow getter. I went through a huge depression. I noticed music was the only thing that was making me happy. I got in a huge car accident when I was 18. And I actually almost died. And then,
wow.
Yeah, and I was just like messed up on like drugs and things like that.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel of Sidewalk talking here with YETEP.
Hey, what's up?
So you were born in Korea, right? Or
I was born in Korea and I moved here to the States in on third grade.
Oh,
third grade.
Pretty early on.
Yeah. I didn't speak any English.
Yeah.
Didn't know any even alphabet. I was trying to memorize alphabet by singing like A, B, C.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it was cool. Like I went to a lot of predominant white schools, so made a lot of friends there. And
was it your parents and your siblings move out here, or?
Yeah, so we moved here because of my dad's work, and then he was supposed to go back maybe like 3 years later, but we all fell in love with America, which ended up staying here.
Oh wait, what was his work?
You know what? I actually don't even know.
Are you serious?
I don't really ask my parents what they do. It's kind of weird. I should know, right?
Like even what industry it is?
Maybe. How about this? After this interview, I'll actually like text him and be like, "Hey, Dad, like, what did you do?" It sounds so bad.
But you still I guess remember decently about like when you were growing up in Korea, right?
Yeah, I went to like elementary school kind of, but it's just really blur at that point because I'm a lot older now, but. Hopefully I could go back there really soon and see all my family and stuff.
Are all your relatives still there?
No, so my brother's here. He just got married with his wife. He actually lives in the States and all my family lives in Korea, so he's like the only family member I have in here. So I miss my family a lot.
Was it like a culture shock kind of moving here? Like I know like Manila Killa and like Sweater Beats had some kind of like culture shock moving here or like fitting in.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the culture shock, but I kind of really hated being Asian at the time when I first moved here because I couldn't even communicate with, properly with everybody in school, and did get bullied sometimes, with English, broken English, got called like fob and all that stuff, but gradually, as I got older, I'm really embracing the Asian culture and love the fact that I'm Asian and Korean and stuff, meeting like Sweater Beats and Chris, who really all about that like Asian American, thing. So yeah, I'm actually really happy it kind of worked out this way in a way. Yeah, I remember asking my mom, like, Mom, like, why do we have to move here in the beginning? Because I really hated school at the time, being bullied and stuff, but now I'm just so glad that, meeting all the Asian people. I live like in La Cañada, it's not too far from here, and then I moved to Glendale after college. I've been in the Glendale bubble ever since.
How else would you describe yourself like back here in high school?
It's introvert, quiet, trying to fit in. I don't know, how were you in high school? Were you kind of like...
I was the same. I got D's in class participation, so I don't...
Yeah, me too. I got
know how the hell I'm doing this right now, if you ask me.
I got a like 0.08 in freaking like 7th grade, and my brother was literally like, yo, it's harder to get that grade than like 2.0, like you had to try to get that grade. I think I took wood class. Yeah. I got a D in woods. I don't even know how you managed to get D in woods, but yeah, now I'm figuring it out to be more responsible, I'm a slacker back then, so.
But you were into sports, right?
Yeah, I was really into baseball when I was little, and then I did some traveling team when I was like, 6th, 7th grade. That was like my job. So if you see like little papers saying I'm gonna be like a baseball player, but I was like 4'10" in 9th grade, so I was like super short, and there was no way I could be, like professional baseball player being that small. I'm still small now, but thank God I had some growth spurt.
What were your favorite subjects back then?
Jeez, I don't know. Since I got a 0.8, I'm not sure what subject, but I was always good at math. It's kind of cliche, but when I first came here, math was the easiest. I remember like they were doing like addition, and then back then in Korea we learned like multiplication and division and things like that.
Yeah, it's a lot faster back in Asia.
Yeah. Did you see the new math? It's like they do that. I don't even know how they do it now. It's like really long, like multiplication and division. I forgot what it's called, but.
In Asia?
No, in America. They
really?
made a new rule or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay. I'm not looking into that. I like math. Were your parents like pushing you academically?
Yes, academic was everything. I think a lot of Asian people could relate. You know, they all want to be. Parents want you to be like doctors and like lawyers and things like that. And actually, it's kind of funny because on my mom and dad's side, everybody's like doctor and lawyer.
Oh.
And my brother does like cinematography. I do music.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily enough that my parents were really nice and always supported what I do. And I think they're really finally happy that I found something that I would love to do because, because they didn't really believe me about whole DJing and performing and things like that. But they recently visited me and then they actually came and saw me performing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then my dad was like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy you like a bunch of like Korean barbecue so you can fatten you up."
Oh my god.
So they felt bad seeing me like jump up and down. So I look really tired.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so he's like, "I'm gonna buy you some Korean barbecue dinners and stuff like that to like fatten you up."
That sounds so good though.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then after high school, do you just go to college or?
Yeah, I went to Northridge and I actually ended up dropping out of school and then trying to figure out. I went to like a little dark hole in my life, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life.
But at Northridge, like what was your degree or like what major were you?
I took communications.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like the most general thing I could get. You know, it's like either business or communication.
Yeah.
But I really hated it. I mean, even college, I thought college was cool, but thank God I made a bunch of friends there. Ended up like rushing this fraternity, but I don't know, school wasn't really for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then luckily I found music, and then I actually went to Icon Collective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for a year and a half. It's a pretty big production school out here in LA.
Like when you dropped out of like North, were your parents just like so surprised?
Yeah, they actually wanted me to move back to the Korea. They're like,
oh,
what are you
wow.
doing with your life, you know? I think.
But how did you even do it? Did you just like just not stop attending or something? Like it sounded like.
So about that point story, I thought I got better, but in college, I used to live in a dorm, and it's kind of far out. It's like maybe a mile out from like in the campus.
Mm-hmm.
So every time it like rained, I'm like, I'm just gonna go to class tomorrow and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ended up actually getting a 4.0 in my freshman year in college because I took golf, and that was like my only credit.
Mm-hmm.
So I got A in golf on
my
my other subjects. So I actually
I
got invited to that academic like award show because like I was like one of the few kids who got 4.0 in freshman year class.
Your parents must have been so happy.
No, because I told them about like my grade and they were like, "You're an idiot. Like you can't go to this."
Oh.
Like it was actually like a award. They would call my name up, be like, "Hey, good job,
Yeah.
kudos." But you know, if they knew that I failed like all my classes except for golf, you know, it's kind of a stay in school though. I always tell people stay in school. Stay in school.
But what was the main reason that you dropped out? Was it just that you love music too much, or were there other things?
Yeah, it's like honestly, every single time I'm in campus, I definitely knew that the school wasn't for me. And as you get older, you kind of always compare to other people. You know, like you're like, I want to do something what I want to do, and just got kind of stubborn in a way where I actually told them when they told me to move back to Korea, I kind of said like, hey, let me do music, and if this doesn't work out, then you know I'll kind of move back. Something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So, like,
what did they want you to move back there for?
Well, Korea though, it's like if you're born there, you have to serve.
Oh.
Yeah, you know how Asia is. I think
Yeah.
Singapore is that way. I think Mern, he served military. Yeah. So I'm trying to extend it as long as I can before. So I guess they kind of just wanted me to just serve and get that thing out of the way and really just pursue whatever I want to do. Honestly, I think they would support me no matter what I did, but luckily, this music thing, I see potential to be able to work this out. You know,
Yeah. So we're already going by like YETEP at that point.
Yeah, it was still like actually how I started was like I did mixes like on Tumblr, so a bunch of people knew me from Tumblr just doing monthly mixes. I've been doing it for like 5 years actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I built all my fan base through Tumblr. Actually, so how YETEP came about is. I really wanted like that original, you know, like SoundCloud.com/ like that original name, or like Facebook.com/ whatever. And then I was gonna go with RETEP, RETEP, Peter backwards.
Oh.
But that just sounds kind of weird. So I just people used to call me PD in middle school. Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'm just gonna use YETEP, but I actually don't even like when people call me PD right now.
Yeah.
But the name stuck, so don't call me Petey. Call me Peter.
Then it became Yetter.
Yeah, I became Yetter. Yes, I'm like a meme of Yetter.
How did that happen?
I played in Austin, and then when in the green room, the guy mistook my name to Yetter, and then I posted on Twitter like,
Oh, I think I did see
yeah,
that.
and then ever since then, people have been calling me Yetter, and so I guess the name stuck. I'm like the yellow getter.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't.
I'm the yellow getter. So Getter, if you're watching this, man, let's collab with the yellow version. So.
Yellow version. Oh my god, that's so funny. And then, like, how were you even like living at that point? Like, did you have other jobs? You were living here.
Yeah, my brother helped me out like financially a lot. Forever grateful. So my parents moved back when I was pretty much done with college, and so my brother became kind of like sort of my like dad figure in a way. He like really looked out for me, and he still does in a way, like a lot of ways actually. But yeah, he supported me financially a lot.
Yeah.
Even my parents in the States, they up financially. It's just expensive to live out here. Yeah, especially alone. I've been living alone for a year now, so gradually paying everything off. Try to get music out. I had no luck after I got my Tumblr. Kind of inactive on Tumblr, and on Twitter, people really support me on Twitter. I'm like,
yeah, how did that happen? You have like crazy fans on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. People ask me all the time, like, what did you do with your fan base? And I honestly think I hit the like jackpot lotto. Like people have been so supportive. I'm forever grateful. I honestly don't know. Like they see me, I love them. But like I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I have like one of like the best fans, I think.
Yeah.
They really connect with me. I connect with them, so I have no idea. Yeah, they really come to support me in a way too. Like, I don't think I'm that big, but in the shows they really come out and they always show me so much love, and I could never reciprocate that much love to them. Yeah, they're amazing.
And how many years ago was Icon?
Icon, what's Icon? I think it was 4 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think I learned a lot from it?
Yeah,
That hesitation.
No, I love Icon. Yo, Icon, don't be mad at me.
Don't be mad.
No, I met a lot of people. But thing is, when I went to Icon, I actually had like no idea about anything about production. So if I went right now, I think I would benefit way more from it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Icon is I don't think compared to any other school is so well connected with like network and things like that. So like. I don't know, something about going to Icon, you could say Nightmare, Slander, and Keizo, they all went to Icon. So even if I didn't meet them, I could go up to them and talk to them and be like, hey, I went to Icon, and it's that connection right there, It's like, yeah, so I'm forever grateful for Icon, so if you guys are thinking about going to Icon, definitely go to Icon.
How do you think the LA scene has changed since you started, like, when you first moved here and started, like, putting out music?
So when I first got into the whole EDM, it was like that Swedish House Mafia, that huge rave culture. But I noticed now in LA, now performing and things like that, I still think it's there, but it's not on a really bigger scale anymore. But there's so many talented acts like up and coming. I think the industry's gonna be fine, but I definitely see it going more like pop route now. Everyone's kind of doing more pop things. I'm not sure if that's me, but you see all these people killing it. AO's killing it too. RoboKid's killing it. The Moving Castle people, RoboKid, like Robotaki and everybody. So. And
how did you connect with the Feels people?
Feels. So when I was doing the mixes and things like that, I never performed before. And Sean, he's the guy who runs the Feels. He actually contacted me saying, "Hey, we're doing an event on Orange County. Why don't you come out and perform?" So that's my first time ever performing in Orange County. It was at Caprador. I think it was May 19th of 2016. Yeah. So I started honestly taking music seriously like last year. So I'm kind of like just starting out. Too. Yeah. That's how I met them, and I've been doing shows a lot with them. He actually ended up becoming my manager.
What was the decision for that?
Honestly, I met a lot of people who were interested in managing me, but I never seemed to like connect enough with them. They always kind of seemed like it was all business oriented. It didn't seem like they really, even if I didn't do music, it didn't seem like I would hang out with them at all. With Sean though, he seemed like he really genuinely cares about me as a person, so that kind of stood out the most to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like all business oriented, like, hey, you gotta do this for business. He was kind of like, hey, do you want to do this? If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at you or anything like that. So yeah, it was kind of natural in a way.
Mm-hmm. What was the turning point that you wanted to take music more seriously last year?
I went through a huge depression. I noticed music was the only thing that was making me happy, and I definitely knew that I'm not the only one who's going through depression or anything like that. So I really wanted to share my passion with everybody, and I think after that first show, me doing the live show at the Copper Door with the Fields, really kind of gave me like confidence that I could maybe do this. And then I kept with it and then started producing, and I have so many songs that I need to get this out. I'm so excited for, and meeting all these DJs that I looked up to prior to, but now after meeting them, they see me like as a kind of like a colleague in a way now, instead of being a fan.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so that kind of gave me another like confidence that, hey, maybe I should really be doing this.
Did your parents know about your depression?
I think I never talked to them anything about that, but you know, like I think mom knows everything type of thing. They will always give me space in a way when I'm like kind of depressed and things like that. But I think they really definitely knew when I was thinking about going back to Korea. I was like really depressed.
But actually, like depression's kind of taboo, right, in Korea?
It is actually, yeah, but it's kind of ironic that Korea's probably in Japan and Korea too. Their suicide rate is like #1 in the world. Yeah, it's not really talked about. But even prior to this interview, I wasn't even sure to, you know, talk about depression and things like that, because you know it's kind of like a sticky topic. I don't want to use it to benefit anything, but I think it should be more talked about in the music industry or just in general in life, that you're not alone what you're going through in life. Wish I had someone to be there for me in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, family was always there, of course, but someone that could just, you know, lie on, just vent to everything, you know. I think that would have helped me out when I was little, for sure.
Yeah.
But as I get older, you know, it gets better. Just keep at it. Be positive. Be nice to people.
Upcoming, do you think you'll put out more like original music with vocalists, or what do you have coming out?
Oh, definitely. So I have this new music coming out with my really good friend William James. It's kind of a funny story. I've known him for 3 years now. He's like one of the first SoundCloud DJs I talked to on SoundCloud.
Oh, wow.
And he's from Boston, but he recently moved to Glendale. He's like,
that's crazy.
He
That's
lives
just like me.
Yeah, and he lives a mile away from my house. So he's technically, you know, the IRL turning to URL.
Yeah.
Or URL turning to IRL. Yeah. So yeah, but I have a song coming out with him this year. I'm really focusing on releasing more content of my own music, and I was thinking about actually quitting mixes as a whole for a while now, but I don't think I could do that to, you know, my fans. They actually know me, but that's like my biggest struggle right now, is trying to go from the mixing guy to as an actual musician. So it's really hard, but I'm super excited, you know, for all the songs I'm gonna release. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Are you gonna work with some vocalists, or?
Yeah, I've been looking for vocalists, but it's so hard to find a vocalist for some reason. I feel like it's harder to find a vocalist than to write the song.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I definitely want to work with so many artists. I've been looking at SoundCloud, so I really want to work with even like bedroom vocalists. Yeah, because that's how I came about. So I've been maybe thinking about even reaching out on Twitter, be like, hey, if you sing in the shower or something, you have ideas, if you want to collab or something, let's link up. You know what I mean?
Cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, definitely.
How else do you think your music has changed since the early songs you made?
It's definitely not like 1, 2, 3 jump anymore. Even though I love that, but it's definitely trying to go more musical route where I could vibe with people more personally than just kind of like you drink, take a shot, you have fun, you know, and you forget about it. I really want to curate a show in the future where it's like a kind of like an adventure in a way. It just means like, you know, something that you forget about when you're drunk or something like that. So I definitely want to go more musically, and that's me trying to learn more piano and more music theory, because I have nothing before, so I'm starting to gradually get there.
Could you explain a bit about your tattoo?
So I have 5 tattoos. I just got this before a Riverside show. This is the one that I dedicate to like my dark times, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. So it's kind of like ripped apart my skin. And if you see it, it's pointing east because my family's there. So they're that kind of like direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this was like dedicated to my grandma when she passed away. And I have one in the back dedicated to my car accident.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's this kind of one that's just my Y logo. I don't know why I got it, but just in case anyone needs me assurance that if I'm YETEP or something, I'm like, hey, look, it's me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you have plans to do more with like Asian community here, or?
Yeah, that's like one of the really big thing. Like how we talked about before, I'm really prideful about being Asian, and it's really cool because when I first listened to EDM, there were really no Asian artists that a kid could look up to other than like there's like Steve Aoki, Layback Luke. But now like seeing Coachella lineups, you see all these like Asian American and just Asian people in general being there, which is crazy to me. It's like seeing Sidewalk playing Coachella, that was like really big. I was mind blown. You see like Giraffes, they're killing it, Sweater Beast, and all these guys, Asian people are coming up, and that's really exciting to me because I could see down the road there'll be more Asian people. Asian people love EDM.
Yes.
They love their
like.
They love
realizing
dancing.
slowly.
Yeah, and then it's not even like even the States and like people in Asia. I think they love EDM.
Yeah, especially like Korea and stuff. Hong Kong's slow,
Hong Kong,
but
China is coming up there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, even I think the craziest thing to me was Rich Chiga.
Oh yeah.
Getting that iTunes. I really thought, like hip hop was one genre that there was no way an Asian person could make it.
Yeah.
And just seeing him just killing in the United States was actually really motivating.
How do you think you've grown as a person since when you started?
When I was 18, I was a terrible kid, never took life seriously and that whole thing. So all I cared about was getting like messed up in college, partying, But I think that one thing that really turned it around for me was, it's kind of weird thing to say, but the car accident I got in a huge car accident when I was 18, and I actually almost died. And
wow.
Yeah, and I was just like messed up on like drugs and things like that. And then my mom, funny thing, she says like it was like a blessing in disguise because I never really had actually really good relationship with my family before. But after that whole accident happened, I realized who's there for me, and family is definitely number one. Man, that guy has a really cool pants.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. It's reflective. It's like, I don't know if you like glittery and like shiny.
He looks like a merman.
Like Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin.
Like Aladdin.
But yeah, that whole accident thing really, I don't want to waste this. I think I got a kind of second chance in this life to really do good in life, So I've been volunteering more and trying to give back more.
Oh wow. What do you do for volunteering?
Honestly, I volunteered during holidays, but I realized holidays is kind of weird because people really do it for like social media purposes. So I see people taking selfies like during the volunteer work more. It doesn't feel really genuine. Yeah, so I'm just trying to do like anytime I have time, I just go to church or something like that and try to give back. Yeah.
So is religion always a part of your life, or?
No, my family's huge like religion. Like, they're Catholic. But I try to go to church like maybe twice a year. It's like on Easter and or whenever my mom visits me. But it's just religion's cool to me. But I definitely believe in God and there's someone there. But I just don't believe that I have to go to church to believe in Him, things like that. But I always try to be a good person. Try to give back as much as I can, and yeah, I think religion's kind of a sticky topic too. Are you religious?
Kind of. I used to be like super. I used to go to church like twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah, or more.
Yeah. I think religion's definitely. I don't think it's a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not that person. I always see in the streets are like, oh, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. Like, that's like too extreme for me.
What does success look like to you?
Success. Honestly, success is something. If you, after whatever you do during the day, and you lay down and then you think about your day, and you're happy, I think that's success. I don't think success comes from like driving a nice car or money in general, but I think if you're genuinely happy and content with life, then I think that's pretty successful to me.
Yeah. Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
What do I be remembered for? As Yetter.
I have to stop shrieking. Sorry, guys.
No, I don't know. I guess just a guy who loves what he's doing and just a genuine, nice person, I guess. In the long run. And who makes good music, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, who could relate to him. Yeah. If that fails, I'm just gonna go full on EDM, Yetter DJ, playing dubstep, you know, playing in Hong Kong.
Oh my god.
You know, come see your boy play in Hong Kong as Yetter. It's like the Chinese, like, you know, bootleg version.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The fake product.
Fake product. Yeah. That's me right there. I got something going on for the future, so.
Oh my god. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.